Coming up on the breakdown, public school districts across Arizona are facing major budget shortfalls, and what could this mean for Arizona students and families?
Plus, new developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie, now lasting over a month.
And from our reporters, we're bringing you the latest in sports, entertainment, and campus news. Hello, I'm Tyler Mitchell.
And I'm Aidan Booker. This is The Breakdown, where we discuss what you hear but may not know.
The search continues for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of NBC Today Show's co-anchor Savannah Guthrie. As of this newscast, it's been nearly 4 weeks after the disappearance overnight from her Tucson home. Recently released FBI surveillance footage shows a masked man near the home carrying a large backpack and what appears to be a firearm. Law enforcement have been executing search warrants for multiple people near the suspect abduction site. No arrests have been made, and investigators have been testing DNA found on a black glove that led them nowhere. The Guthrie family continued to make public pleas for help, saying they are willing to pay for information leading to their mother's safe return.
A strong presence coming from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is here in the Valley. However, locals are in an uproar. This month, protesters against ICE visited Phoenix City Hall during a city council meeting. Activists are urging local leaders to take action to get rid of ICE here in Arizona. But the protests here are only a pattern of what's been happening worldwide. Also gaining national attention is former CNN anchor Don Lemon, who was arrested on charges of conspiracy and the violation of civil rights while attending a protest in LA. He pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, claiming he was present for, quote, journalistic purposes. His arrest sparked conversation about the rights, time, and place of journalists covering public protests.
A major development in the ongoing Jeffrey Epstein investigation, granting Congress access to millions of unredacted Justice Department documents. This marks a significant shift after months of controversy over heavily redacted public releases. Congressional officials say those releases hide key details about Epstein and his network of associates. They also say this access will allow for a better review of DOJ's conduct addressing questions raised by those close to the case. Additionally, a report from Phoenix New Times confirms that Arizona State University received donations linked to Epstein years ago, funds that the university later returned following his arrest. University officials are denying Epstein held any academic role or decision-making authority at ASU. Legal experts caution the review of the entire files could take months.
Health officials are continuing to watch the spread of bird flu. Cases have been confirmed in poultry farms and wild birds in multiple states. While there have been a small number of human cases, public health experts are saying that the risk to the general public is still considered low. Authorities are working with farmers and local health departments to limit the spread, reminding people to practice safe food management.
Public school districts across Arizona are facing growing financial strain, declining enrollment, and shrinking funding, and is facing tough decisions for students and families and educators. According to a recent state audit, nearly 50 school districts are at high risk of exceeding their budgets this year, dealing with high operating costs, lower student enrollment, and funding formulas that many say are no longer working. This budget increase is leading to school closures across the valley, like Baltz and Alhambra Elementary School District, focused on serving immigrant and refugee families. Education advocates say these decisions are part of a broader statewide trend, driven by demographic shifts, lower birth rates, and changing in population patterns, leaving some classrooms half empty. Critics of the current funding system argue outdated formulas and limited legislatives are to blame.
Switching to sports, the U.S. came out on top in the Olympics, plus new headlines from the WNBA.
Our sports reporter Blessing Fraser tells us what happened this month in the world of sports.
Thanks, Tyler. February was quite an eventful month in the world of sports. We started the month off with America's favorite game, Super Bowl 60. This showdown featured the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. This year looked a little bit different as it was the first Super Bowl matchup that the Kansas City Chiefs have missed since 2022. Instead, Leonard Williams and Jason Myers graced our screens as they dominated the Patriots 29-13. In just his fourth season within the NFL, Kenneth Walker III earned this year's MVP award with an outstanding offensive performance. This makes him the first running back to win the Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis in 1998. He wasn't the only one to display Black excellence during this game. NBC host Maria Taylor became the first Black woman to host the Super Bowl pregame show and present the Lombardi Trophy. Taylor shared this special moment with Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald. The pair attended the same high school and same university to prove it is a small world after all. The NBC host also recently produced her first ever documentary with NBC Sports. This project, titled Field Generals: History of the Black Quarterback, is a 4-part series which documents the stories of legendary quarterbacks who transformed the sport from the AFL-NFL merger through the turn of the century. This series features current and former players like James Shaq Harris, Donovan McNabb, Lamar Jackson, and many more who have shaped the game. You can watch this film at home streaming on Peacock. The Super Bowl is not the only major sporting event that Taylor has covered, as she hosts Olympic Late Night for the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan, Italy, where the U.S. finished second in terms of medals, earning 12 gold for a total of 33 medals. Norway coming out on top with a total of 41 medals and excelling in the cross-country skiing event. Skiing has been one of the bigger conversations of these Olympic Games, specifically regarding American alpine skier Lindsey Vonn. Vonn made headlines after she announced that she would be competing in the Olympic Games 9 days after she originally tore her ACL. This marked her first appearance in the Olympic Games since 2018. It was only 13 seconds into her run when she got caught on one of the markers and suffered a hard fall in the snow. This incident caused Vonn to have to be airlifted from the course and taken into surgery. Vonn stated how this injury was unrelated to her previous ACL injury, but this event caused a lot of discourse on social media debating this claim. Fans claimed how it was irresponsible for Vonn to compete under these circumstances, while others expressed their support, saying that she took the calculated risk, as many athletes would have also done. Vonn wishes not for her supporters to be sad on her behalf, according to a post she made on Instagram. I hope instead it gives you the strength to keep fighting, because that is what I'm going to do, and that is what I will continue to do, said Vonn in an Instagram post following the crash. After her 5th surgery, Vonn admits that she is struggling with the extent of the trauma, but she remains hopeful to return back to the mountains doing what she loves the most. Back in the States, Los Angeles Sparks star Rickea Jackson is receiving waves of support as she dealt with an unfortunate run-in with her ex-boyfriend. Atlanta Falcons' James Pierce Jr. was arrested in Florida on February 7th after Doral police received reports of a domestic dispute between the pair. The two met at the University of Tennessee, making their relationship public in April 2025 during Pierce's NFL draft celebration. Once Jackson decided to end the relationship, that's when things took a turn for the worse. As she was driving, Jackson noticed Pierce following her on the road, and once Jackson stopped at a red light, Pierce attempted to open her car door, and being unsuccessful, he allegedly crashed his car into Jackson's and struck an officer in the process. Police charged Pierce on several felonies, including 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated stalking, and fleeing from the police. He was released on a $20,500 bond the next day, and the case was assigned to the Felony Domestic Crimes Intake Unit. He was also given a pretrial condition to stay away from Jackson. Lawyers representing Jackson filing an official notice on Tuesday indicating that she is willing to testify against Pierce if necessary. That's all for sports. I'm Blessing Fraser. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Blessing. While Hollywood is buzzing with big wins, big releases, and big conversations.
That's right. And our entertainment reporter, Yanees Mohammed, has the latest.
At the 2026 British Academy Film Awards in London, Sinners and its director are setting new milestones, becoming the most awarded film ever by a Black director at BAFTA. Sinners securing major wins including Best Original Screenplay and Best Supporting Actress. On the same red carpet, Indian actor filmmaker Farhan Akhtar attracts attention with his glamorous debut alongside his wife, while fellow Bollywood star Aliyah Bhatt delights fans by presenting an award in Hindi, calling it a moment of cultural pride. A few notable movies releasing this month: the horror franchise Scream returns to its big screen for the 7th series installment. The latest brings back familiar faces while introducing a new ghost face killer. And Stephen Curry's new animated film, GOAT, releasing, starring two Stranger Things stars Caleb McLaughlin and David Harbour. Harbour, alongside with notable faces like Aaron Pierre, Jelly Roll, and Gabrielle Union. The story, based on Curry's basketball career, follows a GOAT determined to revolutionize a sport titled Roar Ball and prove that Colt Small can ball. And a new film is sparking discussion about Black storytelling and representation in cinema. Moses the Black was set to hit theaters during Black History Month. However, the film making headlines after theatrical screenings were canceled just days before its release. The cancellation quickly sparking reaction online, with viewers expressing frustration over the access to Black-led film. Supporters of the film say the moment highlights ongoing challenges for Black stories in mainstream entertainment spaces as audiences continue to push forward for diverse stories on screen. That wraps up entertainment. I'm Yanees Muhammad. Back to you.
After decades of shaping Spanish-language journalism, Jorge Ramos and Maria Salinas are being recognized for their legacy and hard work. And this recognition comes today at the Walter Cronkite Award Luncheon, where they will receive the 42nd Walter Cronkite Award, an honor that not only reflects their impact, but their continued influence in today's journalism industry.
With this luncheon serving as Walter Cronkite School's biggest fundraiser event, helping fund scholarships and programming like Study Abroad, organizations such as Arizona's Family, ABC 15, and the RDF Foundation play a role in supporting this event that doubles not just as a fundraiser, but as an opportunity offering students insight from some of the most respected journalists in the industry and about reinforcing the standard expected of every Cronkite student.
It also really symbolizes sort of an agenda setting in terms of what is important to us, what we value, what we endeavor to be at Cronkite.
Before the presentation, a few remarks were shared, and then everyone watched a recognition video highlighting the work from Mr. Ramos and Ms. Salinas, with tributes from journalists like David Muir, and even a shout-out from former Univision president Joaquin Balea. The messages were so heartfelt that both honorees were already tearing up, expressing their emotion and appreciation for their hard work.
Because they truly are icons and global brands, and so it was really wonderful to see them here and to listen to their messages.
Ms. Salinas and Mr. Ramos both took the stage to share their experiences while offering thoughtful bits of advice to everyone in the room, a moment that seemingly felt genuinely inspiring to those who had the chance to hear them speak.
So really glad to see them honored today and to really give remarks and voice to so many people out there who are looking for both information but also the empowerment of what this country can be.
And together, their words and their presence served as a powerful reminder of the impact great journalism can have. The luncheon not only honored their legacy, but also reinforced the standard of excellence the Cronkite community continues to strive for.
I'm Ellis Gibson on The Breakdown.
That's all from us. Thank you for tuning into our show. I'm Tyler Mitchell.
And I'm Aidan Booker. From all of us here at NABJ, we hope you had an amazing Black History Month. And we'll see you here next month on The Breakdown.